What's up, guys? It's Tuesday, February 3rd, another episode of Moidia's Combat Pubcast. I'm on the road right now, but I've been listening to content all day. You know, everything coming in after this past weekend, especially with the boxing side, which I love to cover. The big win by Shakur over Teofimo. Xander Zayas also had a big win in Puerto Rico this weekend. Raymond Morataya had a big win. So there's a lot of moving stuff going on in the boxing world. With the big win from Shakur at 140, you know, I thought he looked the best he's ever looked against Teofimo. Teofimo didn't look bad. That just shows you how good Shakur Stevenson is in the ring, man. You put that guy in the ring and he will figure it out, man. I mean, a lot of people have been comparing him to Floyd back in his heyday. I was watching Max Kellerman and those guys. A lot of people in the post-show were saying that he's the next Floyd. I'm not going to say he's the next Floyd. I want him just to be Shakur. I saw Robert Garcia said that, you know, he probably could have done more to finish Teofimo in that fight. I mean, he had him hurt. He was way ahead on the cards, you know, and I think that's the biggest difference between Shakur and Floyd. Not the Floyd that most of you guys know as Money Mayweather Floyd, but when he was coming up at 30 and 35, when he was Pretty Boy Floyd, he was stopping people. He was putting people away. He'd get big on the cards, knew he had the win, and then he'd go in for the kill. That's the difference between Pretty Boy Floyd and Shakur Stevenson. I love Shakur. He had an amazing performance. I'm not taking anything away from him, but I think the comparisons between him and Floyd should just stop at that. Just that they're both very technically sound, head and shoulders above everyone else in their division, and they're brilliant boxers inside the ropes. But Floyd, when he was Pretty Boy, he was putting people away. I mean, he was putting the work to Zab Judah, putting the work to Diego Corrales, putting the work to Arturo Gatti. Like all these guys on his way up, before he started having all the hand problems, he was putting people away. Now, I understand that Shakur has some hand problems too, but he looked great this fight. I just wish he would have took a little bit more chances, but that's just us being biased, or not biased, but just picking at little things. He fought an amazing fight. You know, as close as a shutout you can get. He won 11 out of 12 rounds. I'm not going to take anything away from Shakur. He fought in an absolutely brilliant fight. Now there's talks of him going to 47. Keyshawn Davis had a great win as well. On the same card, Keyshawn Davis was co-main event, had a brilliant performance, a great win. He's talking about going to 47. So I said that because these guys are both at 140. Shakur is now the WBO and the Ring Magazine champion at 140 pounds, junior welterweight. But now they both talking about going to 47. And if they go to 47, both these guys, 47 is already stacked. I mean, it is stacked. And if you inject Shakur Stevenson and Keyshawn Davis in the 47-pound weight division, oh my God. As a fight fan, you should be so fucking excited because, I mean, I had covered this already a few weeks ago that 47 is just stacked and 54 is stacked. But at 47, you got Lewis Crocker, who's the IBF champ. Rolly Romero is still the WBA champ. He hasn't defended since he beat Ryan. Mario Barrios is the WBC champ, and we already know he's booked to fight Ryan. And then Devin Haney is the WBO champ. If you, boost Shakur and Keyshawn Davis in the 147, there is great fights to be made. I would go Keyshawn versus Lewis Crocker for the IBF. I would give Shakur Rollies. If he doesn't get matched up with Conor Ben, give Shakur Rollies. Rollies don't have a fucking snowball chance in hell of beating Shakur. But, I'm pretty sure it's going to be a big money involved. It's a huge payday for Rollies. Huge payday for Shakur. I do like the Rolly-Conor Ben fight because Conor Ben is still ranked number 1 right now in the WBC. They promised him the title shot against the winner of Mario Barrios and Ryan Garcia. But in the meantime, Eddie Hearn's already said he don't want him waiting out, like just sitting around. Give Conor Ben either Rollies, which I think would be a great fight, because I think either one of those two guys gets just tuned up by Shakur. Shakur is just too good of a boxer, man. He is technically head and shoulders above everyone at 40 and 47. I don't think anybody at 47, except for maybe Devin Haney, is going to give him any kind of problems, just because they have a similar style, even though Devin Haney is conventional and Shakur is a southpaw. But I think, yeah, man, I think you give Rollies, Conor Ben, and then after that's played out, you let Shakur get in there and either get the winner of that fight or get the winner of Mario Barrios and Ryan Garcia. I think Conor Ben, Shakur sells out Wembley Stadium or Tottenham Hotspur Stadium easily. Or you do Ryan Garcia, Shakur, either at Madison Square Garden or in Vegas at the T-Mobile. Either way, it's a sellout. I mean, 47 and 40 is absolutely crazy right now. Devin Haney, I want him to fight somebody good too. You can give Devin Haney, Keyshawn Davis, Jack Catterall is number one. There's so many good fights, man, to be made at 47. I mean, this was such a huge week for boxing just this past weekend. You know, with all the wins, Shushu had a great win at 126. You know, Keyshawn's, Shakur's. You know, I can't believe I didn't cover Big Baby and the hairpiece coming off. Like, that was awesome. You know, he gets the win after his fucking toupee or whatever you want to call it comes off his head. He still finishes the fight. I mean, that's probably one of the best marketing things that ever could have happened to Big Baby Miller. You know, I saw it earlier. Damn, I can't remember who it was. And I wish I could remember because I need to give them credit. They should have the next press conference, have Big Baby Miller sitting at the microphone, and then have his hairpiece sitting next to him with the microphone in front of him, and have somebody talking behind as if it's like a person. Like, that's the best marketing thing, because out of the whole weekend, outside of Shakur's brilliant performance, everybody's talking about Big Baby Miller's hairpiece. So, I mean, it was just a great weekend of boxing. I know I went into the UFC this weekend with the reactions, but don't get it twisted, man. I love boxing just as much, if not even more, than mixed martial arts in the UFC. It just, I mean, there's so much to go on. Like, so many things that are going on in one weekend that it takes me time to catch up. You know, I do still have a full-time job. I still got to do all that. I'm still a dad. So it takes me time to get around to these things when I can. So, but 47 is absolutely stacked. Xander Zayas, like I mentioned, he's a WBA champ still. Jaron Ennis Boots is still the interim champ for the WBA. Fendora is still holding the WBC. Virgil Ortiz is the interim champ for the WBC. And then Xander unified the WBO and the WBA. Josh Kelly's still holding the IBF. I mean, 54 is about to get interesting too. If they don't make the Boots-Virgil fight, I think Virgil should fight Fendora to unify the titles, the interim and the full title. You give Boots to fight Xander Zayas. If he beats Zayas, he'll unify the WBA and the WBO title. Then maybe Virgil goes over, takes the title off Josh Kelly, and then they unify as an undisputed title between Boots and Virgil. I know it's not what we want to wait for, but I mean, boxing is one of those things where if you just give it a little bit of time, just let it cook, let it simmer a little bit longer. Like, I want to see Boots and Virgil, but if we get it now, it's for what? 2 interim titles that don't really mean shit, because Fendora still has the full WBC title. Xander Zayas still has the full WBA and WBO title. Let it cook a little bit. Let it cook a little bit. That way, both these guys can get all the titles, and then it'll be a huge, huge mega fight between Boots and Virgil to unify undisputed all the titles at 154 pounds, junior middleweight. That's what I'm looking forward to. As much as I want to see them fight, If they're telling me, but by the end of the year, December, they can unify the titles as undisputed, I'd wait for that. I would wait for that. That'd be great. 47 is locked. Last thing I want to cover, there's a lot of people saying that after the performance this past Saturday, Shakur is number one pound for pound. I'm not going to argue with anybody that has Shakur at number one pound for pound. You know, we elevated Bud Crawford after the performance against Canelo to number one pound for pound. A lot of people still had Alexander Usyk number one, Bud Crawford number two, or vice versa. I wasn't mad about that, and I'm not mad about this either. If you want Shakur at number one, by all means, I'm not going to fight you about it. Me personally, I still have Alexander Usyk number one pound for pound fighter in the world. I know Shakur just won his fourth title in the fourth different division, and he pitched basically a shutout against another pound for pound fighter in Teofimo. But for me, Alexander Usyk, he's a former undisputed at cruiserweight, moves up, becomes undisputed at heavyweight, and then his last 5 fights. I mean, just look at his last 5. Anthony Joshua, win. Anthony Joshua, win. Tyson Fury, win. Daniel Dubois, win. Tyson Fury again, win. Tyson Fury and Anthony Joshua are going to go in the Hall of Fame, some of the greatest heavyweight boxers to ever live. You know, when he beat Anthony Joshua, he was the unified heavyweight king. You know, when he beat Tyson Fury was the WBC and the Ring Magazine lineal heavyweight champion. You know, he beat 2 heavyweight champions 4 times. Joshua twice, Fury twice, and then he absolutely demolished Daniel Dubois. Joshua, Dubois, Joshua, Fury, Dubois, Fury. He's beaten all 3 of those guys 2 times in a row, and each time he looked better. So his last 6 fights have been against 3 guys, and he beat them all convincingly. So Alexander Usyk is still my number one pound for pound fighter in the world. But if you still want Shakur there, I'm not going to argue with you, man. The same, like I just mentioned, the same with Bud Crawford. When they put him number one over Usyk, I wasn't up in arms about it. You know, he deserved it. It was a great performance against Canelo, and Shakur did a great performance against Teofimo, who was a number 10 pound for pound in the world. So either way, I'm down with it. And I love it, man. 2026 is going to be huge for boxing, especially at 47, 54. You know, the light heavyweight division is looking kind of... We'll see what happens once Bivol and Better Beef get healthy. I know Benavidez is going up to fight Gilberto Ramirez at cruiserweight. So we'll just see. We got to wait and see what happens. But 47, 54, keep your eyes on those 2 division guys, because it's going to be nothing but fireworks all the way through 2026, man. There's so many great matchups there, and I cannot wait. This is my boxing recap of this weekend and all the potential stuff going forward. I hope you guys are as excited as I am. Hit the like, hit the subscribe, hit the bell so you get the notifications. And I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace!